Hello my dear students, welcome back to Sudharma's physics classroom. We are on chapter electricity from CBSE grade 10. In the last 3 videos, we have discussed about electric current, electric potential, potential difference and their SI units and the direction of flow of electric current. And today we are going to discuss about the circuit, what is an electric circuit, how we are going to represent an electric circuit, and what are the things we need to take care when we draw an electric circuit. So let's start with the circuit symbols. So this is one of the important topics in the chapter electricity. We know many devices, many circuit elements, and when we have to draw a circuit diagram, how we are going to draw it, right? You will have a big question mark in front of you because many of us are not experts in drawing, right? But we have a solution for that. We have the circuit symbols. So I'm going to introduce the basic circuit symbols we are going to deal in this chapter. So a cell is represented by the positive and negative terminals. The longer line represents the positive terminal and the smaller one represents the negative terminal. And a battery or a combination of cells. See, understand, cell is a single unit and battery means a combination of more than 2 cells connected in this way, right? So this gives the symbol for a battery. So you have to understand the major difference between a cell and a battery. Next comes the plug key or the switch. And in the switch itself, we have 2 things. One is the open switch and the other one is the closed switch. Open switch means that the switch is not open. As usual, we know how does the switch works, right? So if it is open, then there will not be any current flowing in the circuit. If the switch is closed, definitely the current will be flowing through that. And if you are connecting 2 wires, if they are connected together, then we can use this symbol, wire joined. If they are not connecting together, then we can represent using this symbol. That means if you have a wire, another wire is coming and it doesn't want to touch this wire, because in that particular circuit the connection is like that. We don't have to touch that wire, so we just jump from there. Understand that way, okay? And next is electric bulb. Bulb, we can use this symbol. And a resistor, R. Resistor, I'll be explaining in detail when we start with Ohm's law. Resistance means it is an obstruction in the path of current. It will stop it, or it will control the amount of current flowing through the circuit. Another thing is a variable resistance. When you represent a resistor like this, right, this is a constant resistance value. This will have a constant resistance value and it is represented by the letter R. If you have to change this value, right, if I have to change the value of the resistor, I can use a variable resistor, okay, variable resistor or rheostat. So this is what you see on this picture. This is rheostat. So we will understand in detail about this device rheostat when we start Ohm's law circuit, and how you will understand how it is useful in Ohm's law experimental circuit diagram. Okay, so this is a very useful device where we can change the resistance value introduced in the circuit, and through that we will be able to adjust the amount of voltage or current flowing through the circuit. So the device name is rheostat. We can call it as a variable resistor. That means the resistance can be changed. Another way to denote the rheostat is this. Okay, it has 3 knobs. Okay, so you can see one here, another one, and third. Okay, so 3 knobs are there for the rheostat. And the next one comes as ammeter and voltmeter. This symbol is very easy for understanding, because ammeter is represented by A, voltmeter is represented by V, and the most important thing is the polarity. When we draw this diagram, we have to check the polarity. Positive of the cell should be connected with the positive of the ammeter and voltmeter, and negative should be connected accordingly. So already in the previous discussions we have seen how an ammeter should be connected, Ammeter can be connected, ammeter should be connected in series with the circuit, and voltmeter should be connected in parallel to the circuit. These things are very important. In most of the board exams, we used to get one MCQ question based on a diagram. So they'll ask us to check which diagram is correct. They'll give 4 diagrams in the options. We have to check which one is correct. So this is one of the most important things we have to check before we finalize which diagram is correct. Okay, so now we know the circuit symbols. You have to keep these symbols in memory. Definitely when we reach to the end of the chapter, you will be learning all these symbols automatically, because we are going to draw a lot of diagrams using these symbols. Okay, so now let's understand what is electric circuit. We always used to hear this word, right? Electric circuits. So how do we explain in the form of a definition, or how we are going to explain what is meant by an electric circuit? So here you can see a battery, right? A cell can be seen here, a switch is there, and a bulb is there. But can we call it as an electric circuit now? What do you think? We cannot, right? They are individual devices, right? We just kept it there. They are not connected. So these are the circuit elements, the important parts of that circuit. But if we have to say that it is making an electric circuit, we have to connect them together, right? It should be connected together. Then only we can call it as an electric circuit. But how do we connect? What are the conditions to create an electric circuit? Let's see that. So a continuous conducting path consisting of wires and other resistances. For example, electric bulb, that's a circuit element, and it will have some resistance. Okay, a continuous conducting path consisting of wires and other resistances, and a switch between the two terminals of a cell or a battery along which electric current flows is called an electric circuit. All these words are important. It should have the circuit elements like battery it is mandatory, because without a battery or a cell, the circuit is incomplete, because this battery will provide the potential difference, right? So another thing is switch. Switch will control whether we have to allow the current to flow through this or not. It can be controlled using the switch. And bulb, in this simple circuit we can use a bulb so that if current is flowing through the circuit, then the switch, once we switch on the circuit, the bulb starts glowing. So hope you understood what is meant by the electric circuit: a continuous conducting path consisting of wires and other resistances, and a switch between the two terminals of a cell or a battery along which electric current flows is called as electric circuit. Now let's see how do we connect it. So this gives a simple diagram. This is Ohm's law diagram. Ohm's law I'm going to explain in the coming sessions. Okay, so now you just look at this diagram where the resistor is there, bulb is there, switch is there, and battery is there. If all these elements are connected together and if current is flowing through these elements, right? If it is a closed circuit, if it is a continuous conducting path, then definitely this can be called as an electric circuit. Here you can see the switch is open. This is open switch, another symbol for open switch. We have two symbols. This is one, this is closed, this is open. Another way of representing an open switch is this. It's not connected, right? If it is connected, these wires will combine together. Hope you understood what is an electric circuit and how it creates a path for the flow of current. So now just let's apply the knowledge we have understood now. Okay, so let's answer this question. Find the mistake in the diagram and redraw the correct diagram. While redrawing, connect a voltmeter in proper place and use circuit symbols for redrawing the diagram. Here you can see 3 cells connected together, and this is creating a battery. Hope you understood the difference of between a cell and a battery. So we have 3 cells in this picture. This picture is familiar for you, right? Cells, okay? 3 cells connected in series, that creates a battery, and you have 2 bulbs, and here you can see an ammeter. Okay, this is an ammeter. So we have to find out the mistake in this diagram. And once we find out the mistake in this diagram, we have to redraw this diagram. So let's, while redrawing, we have to use the circuit symbols, because definitely we cannot draw this battery and the bulbs in a perfect way, right? So we are going to follow our circuit symbols, and now we have all our symbols in our mind. So let me draw the battery first. How many cells are there? 1, 2 and 3. So I am going to draw 3 cells and observe which terminal is positive. Okay, 1, 2 and 3 cells connected in series. So battery part is done. Now we have the bulbs. Okay, the bulb is represented like this. This is bulb. Now they're asking us, what is the mistake in this diagram? Did you find out the mistake in the diagram? Yes, it is ammeter, right? Ammeter has to be connected in series to the circuit. So I am going to connect the ammeter in series. This is how we connect the ammeter in series. So here we have the positive sign. So the same terminal we have to connect the positive of the ammeter. So this will come to the negative end. So this is connected. So redrawing the diagram is done. So during that process, we have to connect a voltmeter in proper place. So we know that voltmeter has to be connected in parallel to the circuit. So here we have 2 bulbs. If I am measuring the potential difference between these 2 bulbs, I can connect the voltmeter here. So this gives you the parallel connection. Okay, this voltmeter is connected parallel to the circuit. If you have to measure the potential difference between only one of these bulbs, you can connect accordingly. Hope you understood this. So positive comes to the positive of the ammeter, negative of the battery comes to the negative end of the ammeter, and voltmeter also connected in this circuit. So our answer is complete. Okay, so now let's do another question. Draw a circuit diagram to show how 3 bulbs can be lit from a battery so that 2 bulbs are controlled by the same switch while the third bulb has its own switch. We have to draw a circuit to show how 3 bulbs can be connected from a battery so that 2 bulbs are controlled by the same switch. So let's draw 2 bulbs. This is one, another one. So that has one switch. Another bulb is controlled by its own switch. So another bulb is there. So we can use its own switch here. Definitely we have to connect this to a battery. Right? So this gives you the complete diagram, and if you have the switches on, then the bulbs will glow. So observe here, if one of the switches is off, only that connection will go off, right? So this answer is also done. Hope you understood up to this. So read NCERT textbook up to whatever we have discussed now, and in the coming video I will be explaining the question answers related to the videos part 1, part 2 and part 3 of CBSE 10 electricity chapter. Okay, so watch, if you are watching this video for the first time, watch all those other parts, part 1, part 2. This is part 3 video. So whatever we have discussed during these classes, question answers will be discussed in the next video. So thank you for watching. Hope you understood this. So subscribe to the channel so that you get notifications when I get the next video. So stay tuned. See you in the next session. Bye.